Let's go over the top 10 point guards to target in your Yahoo Roto drafts coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello sports fans and welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. I've got my top 10 point guards to draft in Roto Leagues. If you like the sound of that, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so that way you don't miss an episode. I will be posting valuable fantasy basketball content all season long. Do you have a burning fantasy basketball question that you want an expert to answer? Ask me on Q. Go to askmeonq.com/beattheodds-NBA, submit your question, and I will give you a personal audio response right to your email. You can even send me screenshots of your team so that way I can use that in my review. It's super easy to do and it's a great way to get fantasy basketball advice while also supporting this channel. Now let's dive into this list here. At number 10 we have LaMelo Ball. Now, it's always difficult to project how a player is going to perform in a season when there are injury concerns. So let's look at best case and worst case scenarios. Best case, LaMelo plays 65 games this year and blesses the Charlotte fans with mind-blowing passes and fantasy managers with a healthy amount of scoring and steals. Worst case is that he repeats what he did last year and misses the majority of the season. Let's go to number 9. We have Fred VanVleet. VanVleet is being somewhat overlooked in drafts as he's been commonly scooped up in the middle rounds. It's astounding to me how he still racks up stocks for being a smaller and less athletic point guard, but it's his strong hands and great knowledge of the game that allows him to get to the spots where he needs to be on defense. On offense, he's a premier facilitator who does struggle with the shot at times. Let's go to number 8. We have Trae Young. Trae has a lot to show us this season. Out of all the superstars in the league, he's likely going to see the biggest jump in scoring as he now plays without any other proven superstars in Atlanta. Defenses are going to start focusing on him a little bit more, so he may have a tough time improving on that 43% shooting percentage from last season. He is going to be an absolute beast in pretty much every format but Roto Leagues because you have to worry about that field goal percentage and the amount of turnovers he's going to make. Let's go to number 7. We have Jalen Brunson. As I mentioned before in the series, I tend to stay away from players who are capped by the situations on their team. Although Brunson was a second-half fantasy superstar, he doesn't have to shoulder as much of the offensive load with all the weapons that they have in New York. I think we see the stats that we saw last year, -3 to 4 points in scoring. Moving on to number 6, we have Tyrese Maxey. Maxey played better with Embiid on the court as the two of them formed a very pretty two-man game on offense. It'll be interesting to see how the offense works with 3 stars, but I think that the jump that we saw in the rating Most Improved Player of the Year was no fluke. You can't teach speed, and Maxey has that in spades, which gives him a solid floor as any point guard you'll find on this list. Let's go to number 5. We have Steph Curry. It was a pleasure to watch Steph go unconscious in the Olympics to close out both the semifinals and the Olympic gold medal game. It goes to show there's so much left in his tank. He's going to lead the league in three-pointers made this season. He's going to be amongst the league leaders in free throw percentage. But the truth is he's more of a shooting guard than a pure point guard. You're going to need to find those assists elsewhere. Let's go to number 4. We have Damian Lillard. Running it back with Giannis will give Lillard no reason why he can't improve on the numbers he posted in his first year with the Bucks. He's not an elite shooter, but he can win you games with his distance shooting, and he is an effective distributor. He's not going to approach 30 points per game like he did in Portland, but it's not far-fetched to think that he can get 26 points tonight on this team. Moving on to number 3, we have Tyrese Halliburton. If you miss out on Doncic and SGA, grabbing Halliburton is a great consolation prize. He should be healthy going into the season, and he could also lead the league in assists by a relatively wide margin. It is a gift in Roto when your player can dish out assists without allowing too many turnovers, and that is Halliburton's game to a T. I just wish that he would shoot a little more. Let's go to number 2. We have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai usually gets drafted within the first 5 picks of a draft, which should be no surprise to anyone. Like Steph Curry, SGA profiles as more of a combo guard, and you're still going to need to find assists later on in the draft. He has such a unique skill set, though, in which he will carry elite numbers in multiple categories while shooting at a very high clip. Judging by what I have seen in the offseason, he may even be taking some more threes this year. And finally, at number 1, we have Luka Doncic. He may not look it, but he is the best point guard in the league, bar none. Like Nikola Jokic, Doncic commands the offense in Dallas. He's going to turn the ball over, but drafting him carries the understanding that you're just going to have to live with being one of your league's worst teams in terms of turnovers. Of course, you could also be running to lead your league in points, assists, rebounds, and three-pointers made if you draft right. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video, and of course subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I am going to sign off for now, but I will catch you guys on the next episode.